An iMac i7 is more power than anybody needs, even the average gamer, even the professional gamer. Now, the graphics card is a high-end graphics card. Some people call it a high-end mid-range graphics card. I mean, it's not like the upper realms of what some of the PC GPUs are. I mean, I don't want to hear this argument, oh, because we're starting to use our GPU to process things now, and GPUs are being more and more important. Bullshit. I'm talking about for games. I'm talking to you gamers. Why do you think a bigger GPU is so necessary when you got one that's going to run the game at its full res or full settings? Why do you need one with 2 gigs of RAM on the thing? Oh, yeah, but for $2,500, I can get an i7, this, that, and the other, same as the iMac, but I can get a better GPU. Please let me in on the secret about these GPUs. What's so special about these GPUs that makes them just worth buying a PC and putting up with Windows bullshit? I got a 4850. What about a 4870 or a 5870? It's going to improve my experience that much more to where I'm willing to give up OS X and the security I have behind OS X just for 512 more megs of, RAM on my GPU. Just because something is faster don't mean it's a better bang for the buck. Okay, it means it's faster for your money, but it don't mean it's a better bang for your buck. Some people could give a shit about GPUs. If you give a shit about GPUs, then PCs might not be more bang for your buck. If you give a shit about security, then Macs are more bang for your buck because you ain't got to invest time and money in software. People say Macs use the same hardware, and they do to a degree, but they're not built by the same companies. Apple builds these computers. They may use the same hard drives and stuff. Build quality means a lot. Somebody who builds computers every day can make one a lot better than I can who don't. There's a difference in build quality, and the same goes to cheap PCs and Macs. There's a difference in build quality. And I get so frustrated when I see PC users. It makes me think they're noobs when they act like the GPU is everything. Oh, it's all about the GPU. The GPU's purpose in life is starting to be reversed. I believe more and more people is going to start playing on the consoles, and they're going to start using the GPU for more and more processing power. Gaming on a PC is just old. It's old. It's yesterday's news. It's boring. You got to lock yourself away in some dedicated room in the house on some little 20, 25, 24-inch screen, and you got to set it next to the computer because you're wired to the keyboard unless you buy a wireless Bluetooth or wireless keyboard. But with a console, you can get a wireless controller, hook your HDMI cable up to your 42-inch TV, sit on the damn couch, talk to your wife and kids while you play, and go at it. I don't have to lock myself away in some little solitary room with some little 20 to 24-inch display, sitting right up close to the display with you having to use my keyboard and my mouse. No. That's the old way of doing games, guys. That's back the better way of doing games when consoles wasn't capable. Okay, but consoles are very capable now. They look wonderful. I can go to somebody's house and watch them play Crysis on a maxed out PC, and I don't see that it looks much different than some of these really good looking games that I've seen on PS3 and Xbox. I mean, Unreal Tournament, that was a beautiful game, and that was way back in the day. A few years ago, these games on these consoles are just absolutely gorgeous. The improvement that the PC gives you just isn't that much to warrant having to go out and build your system and put it together and spend all $2,000 on it. Computers the purpose for a computer is changing, I think, and now everybody's online with the computer. Everybody's sharing and visiting and doing videos and stuff, and gaming's going to be there. It's always going to be there. It's never going to go away. There's always going to be these die-hard gamers that have to have the absolute best. Even if it don't make that much of a difference, they got to have the absolute best. These are the type of guys that when they buy a car, they're going to have the best of the line. They're going to have the top of the line. If they buy a Mustang, they're going to have to get a Mustang that's decked out. And there's nothing wrong with that. If it's a hobby for them, they love to get into this kind of thing, great. Just say it. Say, I love it. I love to see how well I can get the parts to work together. I love to see how smooth and trouble-free I can get it. I just love doing it. I respect that. That's beautiful. I'm glad you got a hobby. But don't send me this bullshit. You should have got a PC because you can get a better GPU. That's stupid. That sounds like a child. Max can play any PC game on the market. You might not be able to play in full res, but on a 20-inch, 24-inch display, I don't give a shit, to be honest with you. It's not like I'm playing them on my 42-inch HD, in there on my with HDMI cable coming from my Xbox or coming from PS3 to my HD TV in there. It's not the same. I don't give a fuck if I can max out a 20-inch display. What the fuck do I care if I can set something on max settings on my 22-inch or 24-inch display? Ooh, that's fucking impressive. Seriously. Macs don't care about that shit. And I don't blame them. Why put time and effort and energy into making something so huge of a hardware jump for so little of an improvement in performance? You can take the i7 iMac for $2,500, an i7 with a 4850 and 8 gigs of RAM. That's not a mid-range system, folks. That's a high-end system. Fuck having to build it yourself, or fuck having to get shitty build quality from a company like Dell, or HP. You all know that the build quality on them things just ain't there, and if you're going to get something with a great build quality, you've seen them there, you're going to pay for it, or you're going to build it yourself. So I just laugh at these PC guys when they come out and say, oh, PCs are more bang for your buck because you can get a better GPU. A better GPU does not make a better machine. A better GPU does not make it a better bang for your buck, and a better GPU does not make a machine necessarily more powerful. I can't get you guys to understand. For some reason, people automatically think if something is a little faster, then it's better. But you guys need to understand that's not the case. If something is faster, that don't mean it's better. That just means it's faster. And for what you're going to be doing, all you little gamers out there, you don't encode video, you don't do none of this stuff, so I don't want to hear none of this, oh, I got to have everything I can get, I got to get the last edge out of my hardware because I make a living at this and I got to get my projects out the door. Okay, you're not. You're a gamer. You don't need this shit. I mean, it's these companies, you talk about me, oh, Apple's just selling you expensive hardware, they're selling you the exact same hardware that PC makers are selling it to you for, but they're ripping you off. What do you think these GPU distributors are doing? We come out with the 4870 6 months ago, and now we're going to come out with the 5870. You might get an improvement, but I guarantee on most games, you're not going to see much on a 24-inch display. A little bit maybe, It's just pointless. You guys are fighting a losing battle. PC gaming is getting smaller and smaller, and it's going to keep getting smaller and smaller until it becomes more of a niche than it is. Consoles are going to be the way of the future because they're up there now. They're to the point to where they can compete. I don't see locking myself away in a little bitty room somewhere with a 20-inch display stuck to 2 feet from a screen using a keyboard and mouse to play a game when I can go in my living room, sit on my couch with a wireless controller on a 42-inch TV and play away. Screw PC gaming, it's going away. I was listening to Windows Weekly, Paul Thurrott, and he says the same thing. Why does he want to lock himself away in a room when he can play it in there in the living room on a huge TV? It's ridiculous. Yes, there's always going to be a niche for it, but that niche is getting smaller and smaller. And I just wanted to let you guys know, it really makes me laugh. Oh, you should have got a PC because you could have got a better GPU. Oh, really? Really? OS 10.